Module 11, Experiment 11.1, Observation of the spicules of a sponge.
In this lab, we're going to take a closer look at sponge spicules. This will give you a better idea of the support structure of sponges. Now, when we think of sponges, we tend to think of just a blob type structure of an organism. It's kind of hard to imagine them as being a living creature. But remember, these are very organized, very complex organisms. And we're going to take a look at the support structure, or the spicules, of a sponge. The spicules are produced by the amoebocytes in a sponge's body, and they come in different shapes. Scientists will use sponge spicule shapes to help classify what type of sponge they're looking at. So take a look at your sponge spicules under low power first. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And we're going to focus in. And use some colored pencils to make an illustration of what you're looking at. And once you've done that, see if you can identify under high power some of the different shapes of the spicules that were described in the book. And so make an illustration of what you're looking at under high power in your lab notebook, and identify the spicules. And again, see if you can identify the types, whether they're hook-shaped or branched or curved or needle-like. In your notebook. And then if you have opportunity to go and see some living sponges, that would be a great way to observe their diversity. Sponges come in all shapes and sizes. Some can get as bigger than me, and are cup-shaped and ball-shaped, circle-shaped, many colors. Natural sponges don't look like those rectangle things that you wash your dishes with. So it also would be a great opportunity if you can find a natural sponge, which you can purchase at a hardware store or a craft store. Even a grocery store will sometimes have these natural sponges. And so the second part of this lab, if you have opportunity, would be to take a small sliver of sample from your natural sponge and look at that under the microscope. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to move my prepared slide out of the way. And you want to take a very, very thin sliver. It may not even look like you're getting very much from your specimen. And then grab a blank slide, put a drop of water on it, and put your little sliver of sponge on the slide and put a cover slip on it. And then take a look at that under the microscope. Under lowest of power. And these are obviously not living sponges that you're using. So you're seeing the skeleton of the sponge here. This would be then the spicules, and maybe some dried spongin material as well. So see if you can make a good illustration of that under high power, and then take a look at it under low power, and then take a look at it under the highest of power. Right here, focusing in on a nice spot. All right, and so once you've done that, hopefully you can see that these organisms are very complex. They have specialized cells that are used for multiple purposes in their bodies. And just by viewing the skeleton of a sponge, we're able to get some great understanding of what these guys are made of.